Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to insert a footnote. Now once again, first thing off, you always want to choose that style. And what we did is we chose MLA 6th. I'm going to come down here, the end of that first paragraph, click at this point here, and I'm going to insert my first footnote. This is where the footnote will go. I'm in the References tab, and then I'm going to come over here and click on Insert Footnote. What you see that's happened is that a number 1 has been inserted here. That's your first footnote. And then it takes you down to this point right here where you can actually insert the text for the footnote. And what we're going to make the text is insert footnote number 1, period. Now, it's very important whenever you're doing a research paper, especially for the MLA style, that everything is consistent. That includes the footnotes. Everything must be double spaced. Everything should be Times New Roman. And it also should be indented by 1/2 inch. So we've put in our text for our footnote. So the next step would be is to click inside of that footnote. Inside of it. Then right click. Go up to Style. Highlight it. Left click. And then click on Modify. Now you notice that right off, Word has detected that this is footnote text, which it is. So we want to modify that footnote text. So we're going to click on Modify. We want to come over here, and it's very important to change the formatting. And we're going to go down to Times New Roman. Once again, we could have used that down arrow, clicked on it, going all the way down to Times New Roman. It would have been much easier just to type in here Times New Roman. It will come up. And what we also want to do is to change the size of that font to reflect what the rest of the document is. So it should be 12. Next, we want to click on Format. Down arrow for Format. We want to go up to Paragraph. And then in here, we have to change the indent to 1/2 inch. And how you do that, you have indents and spacing. Come over here to Special. Hit the down arrow. We want to change the first line indent to reflect the same as the rest of the research paper. First line indent, it should come up to 0.5. If it doesn't, you need to change that to 0.5. So we're going to have an indentation of 1/2 inch. The spacing should be double, like the rest of the document. Click on OK. Change here. Click on OK again. Click on Apply. And in the future, all of our footnotes will in fact be formatted properly. Now, next thing, I'm going to, just to show you something, I'm going to insert another footnote. I'm going to insert it right over here, right at this point here. Now, here's our first one. I'm going to insert another one here. This is important. Very powerful part of Word. You can see, because that's in the first position, it was automatically changed. Because that would be the first footnote that would be showing. See, this is the first one we had done. That has been changed to number 2. We have a 1 up here. So once again, Word has automatically adjusted the order of your footnotes. Very powerful. Okay, let's come down to this point right here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert a citation and a source. In other words, we want to give the expert credit for his or her information. We do that by inserting citations. So our citation will be entered right over here. And all we have to do is come up here in the References tab, click on Insert Citation. And in this case, we have none at all, so we're going to add a new source. Click here for Add a New Source. We will get a box that we're going to fill out. We have the ability to select what type of source our document or our statement is based on. Right now it came up as book, but you have the ability to choose an article or article in a periodical. It can also be coming from a website. But we're going to choose a book. So you're going to left click here. It's a book. The author, we'll make it McKenna, or your last name, McKenna, comma, Kevin. Title, we'll call it Word Instruction. Year, 2012. City, Providence. Publisher, we'll call it McKenna Publishing. Click OK. And you see what's happened here is that we now have the word McKenna, but if we hover our mouse over it, you can see where it's highlighted. There are also parentheses surrounding this information, which means that it is now a citation. So there's parentheses surrounding it, the author's name, and also if you hover over it, it becomes highlighted. If you click inside of that citation, you're going to have a box. Click the down arrow, and now we have the ability to edit that source. So we come up here and change it. Click that down arrow, or we can edit the actual citation. And usually when you're talking about editing the citation, and we're going to do that right now, you're usually adding the page numbers from where that citation is coming from. So we're going to click on Edit Citation, and we're going to say it's pages 99 through 100. click on OK. So what's appearing now is our citation with the author's name and the pages from the book where that information is coming from. It's highlighted. Click in here, down arrow, and you have the ability to edit the citation or edit the source. So let's click once again on that edit the citation, which you usually add or use to add pages, but you also have the ability to suppress. Well, suppress means to hide the author's name. So if I click right here on author, OK, the author's name is no longer showing. However, the name of the book is. Coming back to the citation again, I'm inside of it. Hit this down arrow. I'm going to edit that citation. And I want to take or get rid of the author check mark. I want to show it. Hit OK. Now, once again, we're back to where we had been. A few other things in terms of the citations. Another way of looking at the information is we can also click on here for Manage Sources. These are the sources that we're currently using in this document. You can highlight it, click on Edit, and change it around. Now to create a Works Cited page or bibliography, these would be the steps. You want to hit Control End. Takes us down to the end of the document. And then to create a new page break, a brand new page, hold down the Control key and hit Enter. Hold down the Control key and hit Enter. See, we're at a new page here, page number 4. And on this page, we're going to create our bibliography. First step in the MLA style is on this new page is we want to take our first line indent and readjust it back to its original position. We're going to type in works cited, or works cited rather. Works cited. Hit enter. We're going to come up to bibliography. Hit the down arrow. And then we're going to come over here to this point right here. Insert bibliography. Click on it. And that's the information that we've already put in. We would want to highlight that and make sure it is double spaced. In this case, we're all set because there's only one line anyways. For the bibliography entries, we want to make sure we highlight them. In this case, we only have one. Click over here. We want to make sure that it is double spaced. And also, click on page layout, and the spacing after should be 0. Lastly, for the works cited, we should highlight it and make sure it is centered. And that is it.